ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good evening, CoreTV News on the hour. I'm Tolu Ojewumi. We kickstart from Kaduna State, where the Police Commissioner Omar Shehu has paraded 65 suspects from various crimes recorded, including a man with a printer who prints fake Nigerian currency. Osman Shehu says his men recovered 21 vehicles, 65 suspected armed robbers, 37 arms, and 360 live ammunition. Other items include a truck containing 70 bags of wig conveyed from Ondo State. The carrier of the wig usually uses police uniform with the rank of ASP as a way to gain free access from one place to another. The uniform is said to belong to one Ayodele Akekoke. The police have set up a tactical operation point in selected states of the northeast and northwest to check illegal movement of small arms, light weapons and explosives. The facilities are to be located on highways in Kano, Jigawa, Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Bauchi, Gombe, and Taraba states. Police spokesman Frank Mba said that the operation point will be manned by policemen who have received adequate training in tactical operation and counter-terrorism. He added that the Acting Inspector General Suleiman Abba has directed all Assistant Inspectors General of Police in charge of zones covering the affected states and all commissioners of police to supervise the special operation. The spokesperson, Department of State Security, Marilyn Auger, says some politicians in Osun State offered operatives of the service 14 million naira bribe to compromise the just concluded governorship election. Auger explained that the service rejected the bribe, which she said was offered to the DSS director who supervised the August 9 governorship election. She made the allegation at the National Information Center, Abuja, who are responding to a question on why the All Progressives Congress APC was at loggerheads with the service. The DSS Deputy Director explained that the service was given 200 million naira by the government to provide security for the election, and that before the DSS deploy its personnel and material for any operations, they are given money up front, stressing that the agency's personnel cannot be induced with money. Auger expressed satisfaction that operatives of the service and other security agencies made it possible for voters in the state to exercise their franchise. Now, Osun State incumbent and Governor-elect Ralph Aregbesola has commended the people of the state and the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for their steadfastness in the face of intimidation during the August 9 governorship election in the state. Aregbesola gave the commendations while receiving his certificate of return at the INEC office in Oshogbo. Rashid was there. He files in the support.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has presented the certificate of return to Ralph Aregbesola and his deputy Titilaoye Tomori. In his address, the resident electoral commissioner of Osun, Segun Agbaje, says INEC has lived above board in giving level playing ground for all contestants. Aregbesola gave a clean slate to the electoral body.
Accordingly, the Commission remains focused and continues to set up all the machinery needed to guarantee the conduct of free, fair, credible, and accessible election in the state. This led to the timely commencement and smooth conduct of the election day activities as enumerated thereon.
The governor-elect gave an analogy of his triumph despite all efforts from the powers that be to push him out of office.
Then said David to the Philistine, "You come to me with a sword and with a spear and with a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, because of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. You can replace Israel with Osun. The God of the armies of Osun, whom you have defied. fight. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hand, and I will strike you down and cut off your head. And I will give the dead bodies of the hosts of the Philistines this day to the birds of the air and to the wild beasts of the air. That all the earth may know that there is a God in
The election recorded a large turnout of voters and provided the sitting governor a shot at a rare second term in office. Aregbesola dedicated his victory to the people of Osun.
Thank you. Because it was through you that God delivered this to me. Total sacrifice, self-sacrifice, and amazing support under the direction of the Almighty God, that we are today qualified to receive certificate of return.
The handing over of the certificate of return to Governor Aregbesola has officially placed his recognition as governor-elect as required by the law. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshogbo.
Kano State Governor Rabi Kwakonso has described Governor Ralph Aregbesolah's re-election as a big lesson for Nigerians and a success for democracy. The governor told journalists that the outcome of the election is a lesson for democracy. He also commended the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for doing a good job.
As somebody who has been in the system, who can always read in between the lines, I believe that they have collected so much to the extent that they want to justify that resources that they have collected. Well, let me advise them to see what they collected as part of the what has been mentioned by our emir and many other well-meaning Nigerians that were missing, and therefore they should be happy that they got their own share. And we hope that other state chapters will do the same during the next election. Take as much as you can, and at the end of the day, you go and do what you think is right.
Lagos Tops of the All Progressives Congress APC has described the attempt by the Osun PDP and its candidate Iyola Omishore to challenge the outcome of the just concluded Osun governorship election as a joke. The report.
The People's Democratic Party in Osun State and its governorship candidate Iyola Omishore have expressed dissatisfaction with the outcome of the governorship poll in the state. The Osun chapter of the PDP and Omishore say they will challenge the results of the election at the Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal. The party's chairman, Ganiu Olaoluwa, described the election as a robbery of the highest order. He said it was characterized by malpractices in many parts of the state, especially Oshogbo and Ilesha. In a swift reaction, the deputy chairman of the Lagos APC, Funsho Ologunde, says Omishore's action will never get the APC disturbed.
Opting to go to the tribunal to challenge the result of the last governorship election in Osun State, Omishore is exercising his right as guaranteed under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He feels aggrieved, he feels he has been cheated, then the tribunal will be there to tell him that his protest lacks any basis at all. We know that the elections in Osun were free and fair, and we did all we could to campaign before the election to win the confidence of the people. The people spoke and reposed their trust in Governor Rauf Aregbesolah's continued governance for the next 4 years. So we are not disturbed, and we are not going to lose a sleep for 1 minute.
A legal practitioner, Monday Obani, says Iyola Omishore is exercising his right as someone who feels cheated.
No, the point is that any person who feels he has a legal wrong done against him has a right to go to court. So if he feels that the election wasn't free and fair, then he was not declared a winner, he can go to court and give money to lawyers, But the good thing is that the president has congratulated Aregbesola. Even PDP Lagos State has also done likewise.
He has a right to go to court, but if that is the basis of going to court, I think he shouldn't waste more money. He should keep whatever he has, maybe for next election or something.
The chairman of the Lagos State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, Tunji Shele, says Omishore is seeking justice as an individual, even though his party had congratulated the incumbent governor.
That question could be best answered by those people who are on ground, who are from Osun State, who know the nitty-gritty of the conduct of the election. I watched Osun election from a distance. I only attended the rally. I saw a very large crowd. I thought we could win. I thought we've done our best. I thought we did good campaigns. But after an election must be won and lost. So somebody has won an election. The policemen were there to ensure that there was security, that there was no rigging, and that there was a conducive atmosphere.
The Osun governorship election has come and gone. Lessons learned from the election are expected to improve the conduct of the 2015 general elections. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
In the meantime, the youth wing of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, says it will commence mobilizing support for the party ahead of the 2015 elections. The leadership of the group said after a meeting in Abuja that the idea is to draw attention to President Jonathan's achievements.
We, PDP Youth Network, have ultimate task to help our nation to succeed, become secure, achieve technological advancement, eradicate poverty, become more healthy citizens of the world, and move us to the first position as far as Africa is concerned and world at large. To achieve this, we had a plan, synergy, and strategies, and coordinating people from all nooks and corners of Nigeria, both in diaspora. That is why we have such spread across the entire 36 states, including FCT and 774 local governments.
Now to health matters, the Ebola virus has claimed another victim in Nigeria. It's due to Abdul Qadir, the protocol assistant who received the late Liberian-American Patrick Sawyer on arrival from Liberia. His death brings to 2 the number of Nigerians to die from the virus. ECOWAS Commission has since confirmed the death of the 36-year staff of its Lagos liaison office. The Commission said in a statement on Tuesday night that the protocol assistant was one of the people who assisted the Liberian-American at the airport. Abdul Qadir had been under quarantine until his death. The World Health Organization, WHO, has authorized the use of experimental drugs in the fight against Ebola, even as the death toll topped 1,000. A Spanish priest became the first European to succumb to the latest outbreak of the virus. The declaration by the United Nations Health Agency came after a U.S. company that makes an experimental serum said it had sent all its available supplies to hard-hit West Africa.
These antibodies were produced in mice in response to Ebola's viral envelope and can block or neutralize the virus. These antibodies were tested on animals too, where they neutralized the virus, and now they've started being tested on humans. 3 healthcare workers, 2 Americans and 1 Spanish in the course of the last week. This research is interesting, but it's limited. The amount of antibody available is very low, and even if we take a decision to produce it semi-industrially, it will take many weeks before we get there. So this is a sign of hope, but it's a hope limited to a small number of patients. It's out of the question to consider giving this antibody to all patients suffering from Ebola at the moment.
Staying with Ebola, the federal government is soliciting the cooperation of transporters in a bid to check the spread of the Ebola virus. Health Minister Onyebuchi Chukwu on Tuesday met the leadership of Nigeria's transport unions and cautioned them against conveying anyone that is sick without an authentic medical report. He also advised transporters to stop carrying dead bodies unless there's a clearance from the Ministry of Health to avoid community transmission. Still on Ebola, market men and women have been called upon to always keep their environment clean in order to avert the outbreak of communicable diseases. Senior Special Assistant to the Lagos State Governor on Transport Education, Mary Marshall, gave the advice in an outreach program for traders and members of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW. Abela Lole's report is presented from our studios.
As panic over the outbreak of the deadly Ebola virus continues to grip residents, Lagos State government is devising practicable means of preventing further spread of the disease. An awareness campaign focused on market women and transport operators was organized to help curb spread of the virus. The Chief Missioner of NASFAT, Abdullahi Akimbodi, and other religious leaders says residents should pay attention to personal hygiene. They also call for residents to abide by the law of the state in their daily activities, as well as shun the antics of those hiding under the guise of religion to destabilize the peaceful coexistence of the state.
Christ says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Reciprocal love, equal love. That is the law of equity.
We maintain clean environments, we'll be healthier, and it will be a better society that we have created.
Health is wealth. If you lose health, you lose everything. And so we must just assist and support the government to create a very healthy and clean environment. And that's why KAI has been put together.
The Senior Special Assistant to Governor Fashila on Transport Education says the essence of the program is to get feedback from the populace on government policies.
Achieving what we set out to achieve, but again, it's always a work in progress. So as we've done this, we've also gotten some feedback which will help us in improving how we continue to deliver our service, both in terms of meeting the obligations to the officers, which is through training and making sure that they meet the standards of professionalism, and also our obligation to the people and expecting a reciprocity from them vis-a-vis their responsibility.
Market women and transport leaders use the opportunity to ask questions on government policies.
We're going to a quick break and come back to take you outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Glad to have you join us on another edition of The Political Arena, the most detailed and incisive political show.
If you are a sitting governor and the opposition is able to stomach structure against you, that means you are wicked to the people.
Give me 20 minutes to move or they will shoot me.
He has no chance for survival. If he likes himself, this is the best time to get out before he perishes.
The PDP as a ruling party has failed.
So anybody who thinks that government will fold his hands and allow miscreants to take over the streets of Osun State and cause havoc is deceiving himself.
The good, bad, ugly and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on CoreTV News.
You're watching CoreTV News at 4, reaching you from the city of Lagos in Nigeria. Now the rest of the news. Palestinians living in Syria fled the war raging there and returned home looking for safety, only to find themselves in the middle of another conflict. The report.
Ahmad Abu Shabab has seen war in more than one country he has called home. As a Palestinian living in Syria, he fled the war region there now in his third year and returned to Gaza, looking for safety in the land of his family. But today, is visiting the grave of a son who was killed by an Israeli airstrike while trying to evacuate wounded people.
We fled the war, only for war to come to us again. Life is hard and tough at home. We have nothing, no house, no shelter or education.
In 1967, after the Six-Day War in Israel, some 500,000 Palestinians left their lands, many finding homes in Syria. But with the conflict between the regime of Bashar al-Assad, the Free Syrian Army and increasingly powerful jihadist groups entering a fourth year, over 70% of them have had to leave their homes once more. Among them are the Al-Mawi family, like Ahmed, they too fled to Gaza.
We fled because there was no security in Syria. The situation is not clear. In Syria, we lost our livelihood. There was no way to work, and with the war, we lost our desire to stay. But in Gaza, the situation is different. Yes, there is a war, but it is different.
When Hamad Abu Shabab left Syria in 2012, Egypt's Muslim Brotherhood, then in power, held Palestinians to return home by facilitating passage through the Rafah border crossing into Gaza from Egypt. Once in the Gaza Strip, Hamas promised to pay 170 euros every month to the heads of returning families until they found employment. But after 5 months, with Hamas isolated by the political changes in Cairo and economically strangled, the payments stopped.
Our house was destroyed. We came here to find comfort and a home, but we found the opposite. And nobody cares about us. Nobody gave us a home. We're now living in the debris, in the street.
Hamad's situation is far from unusual. The Israeli offensive in Gaza has left more than 2,000 dead in a little over 1 month. And though negotiations for a durable truce are underway in Cairo, for many Palestinians, a sad story of exile and war continues to be written.
That's all. Thanks for watching. I'm Tolu Ojewumi. Good evening.